Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is a hot one today. It's, I don't know, 91, 92, but the humidity is pretty high, so it's very sticky. I know some of you are going to say that your temperature's hotter, and I'm not saying it's the hottest in the country, but it's pretty warm here, and we've got a good dose of humidity to go along with it. It's nearing the triple digits when it in the feel, you know, the heat index. Had a good day. We put on a barbecue cookout for the fire department for Father's Day. All the men and there's women that are part of the fire department too, I know, but we did it today. The chief and I cooked up a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs, and everyone brought some stuff, and it was a good day. Pulled all the trucks out of the station and set up a bunch of tables and chairs. So it was a good fun day, but boy, it's a warm one. And so since it's Father's Day, and I guess it's a little bit of a theme today, I want to talk to you men about something that's very unpopular. I don't suspect that this will be a popular video, but it's something that we all, and the women too, please don't think that I'm excluding the women in this. This isn't specifically a male subject, but I am going to directly talk to men because being a man myself, I understand. But the women out there, you can learn from this too. And I'm talking about our personal health. To be flat out open, and most of you know this because if you watch my videos, I'm not in the best shape. I mean, I have lost quite a bit of weight over the last year and a half or so, 2 years, but I could still lose some more, and I could still get in a little bit better shape. And I've been working at it, but I'm in my late 40s now, and so it's harder. And those of you that are in the 40s and older, you know that it's harder. But I'm telling you, folks, we got to do this. I fully believe in the big old PSYOP conspiracy theory that part of what they've been doing over the last half century or longer is polluting and destroying our food systems so that they can destroy our health. I mean, what better way to conquer a people, the most rebellious, probably liberty-minded people that's ever lived, and that's Americans, by destroying their health? Because if you're fat and you're unhealthy and you're dependent upon a bunch of pharmaceuticals, then you're not going to be able to rebel too much for too long. I mean, that's just flat out. I mean, have you ever looked at ingredients on the exact same products here and overseas? They're totally different. Only in America do they put all the harmful ingredients in stuff. And you got to ask yourself why. I mean, is it just for money? Because you can't tell me that all of those ingredients cost less than just simple ingredients that are put in overseas. And obviously they're making money on those products overseas. I think a lot of it is specifically to make us unhealthy. And look around, America is unhealthy. And especially, as much as I hate to say this, in our own conservative circles, we're probably more unhealthy. The patriotic, gun-toting, Bible-thumping, kind of folks are probably, in a lot of ways, more unhealthy than others. We've bought into this lie of how to eat, our diet, and exercise, and pills, and all this stuff. And we've got to stop that. We've got to be healthier. If we're to truly survive what's coming at us, number one, you're going to need to be in the best health that you can be, the best physical fitness that you can be, so that you can do all the physical stuff. If you think it's going to get to the point that you've got to run around the woods and fight off bad guys, or you've just got to defend your home from bad guys, or you've got to go out here and cut wood by hand and toil in the garden and all this kind of stuff to survive, and you're not physically fit, you're not going to make it. You can have all the cool guns, all the food, all the little knickknacks and trinkets and stuff that makes you the most ultimate survivalist. But if you're in really bad shape, you're not going to make it. And for over a year now, almost 2 years, I've been encouraging myself and others around to get out here and ruck, get out here and exercise. On occasion, in our little local group, we'll do challenges, how many sit-ups can you do, how many push-ups can you do, things like that. And several of us will throw in some kind of prize, for whoever can do that kind of stuff. And of course, now I'm on the fire department, which is quite possibly one of the most physical things that you can do. And for those of you that would laugh at that, the rest of you that have been in fire service, I think you can back me up on that. And so I feel like, I know in the last couple of months, I feel like I've kind of slowed down, not purposefully. My body has slowed down. I've been very busy taking calls with the fire department, doing things on our homestead, doing things with our emergency response team, doing things with our preparedness organization, all that kind of stuff. And I've been very busy, not been getting great sleep, great rest, and it's just wore me down. And I felt like even after trying to get sleep and trying to rest, that I wasn't where I needed to be. So in the last few weeks, I've recognized that and kind of kicked it into high gear. I'm taking I think the right kind of supplements, because I can tell a difference. The right herbs, the right diet, and really starting to get back into more intensive exercising. We all need to be doing that, regardless of our age. And it's going to be different for everyone. If you're 25 years old right now, the amount of exercise that you should be doing is going to be very different than those of you that may be 65. And I know that a lot of you watching right now are like, man, I'm in great shape. Good on you. That's awesome. That is awesome. You need to keep doing it. But you know what? A lot of times it can go different ways. Maybe you're physically, you've got weight and things like that, so you're not in the great athletic shape that you need to be, but yet internally you're in pretty good shape because you're eating the right foods, you're doing the right thing. And the opposite can be true. People can be in great athletic shape, but yet they're not eating the right kind of foods. They're eating seed oils and processed foods and all this kind of stuff. And so we've got to find that balance between the two and do both of them. The amount of garbage that's in foods, we have to wake up. I've said for the last 3-4 years now that the necessity of becoming food independent may not come from the fact that there is no food, that there's some great famine, or that food is only available if you have some kind of mark of the beast. It may just get to the point that we choose to not eat food that's available through the grocery stores because it's so contaminated with just harmful things and even abominations. Spliced genes from animals you don't want to eat, and DNA spliced, lab grown, all of this kind of stuff that's being put into food. And so we've got to get to where we're eating true healthy food. I don't have a specific diet for you. I'm just telling you, you should look at basically what the Father meant for us, what was created for us to eat, and how and what we should eat. And eat that simple, natural, whole food. And then also incorporate medicines from the wild. And sometimes you have to take those in supplements. Sometimes you have to take those in tea form or tincture form. But there's lots of things that our ancestors ate on a daily basis that was medicine. They ate their medicine. We don't do that anymore. And then you've got to get out and you've got to get your body in shape. Doesn't mean that you have to be super skinny. Doesn't mean you have to be all bulked up. But you have to have a certain level of endurance so that you can take off in the woods with a pack on you and make it 5 or 10 miles if you had to. That you can haul things, carry people, carry things, and just have the endurance of doing things during hard times. Look at today. It's in the 90s. It's hot. It's miserable. I'm sweating. And I have to be in shape as a firefighter enough that if I got a call right now to be on a fire, which this next weekend, we're going to be doing live fire training. So it's going to be hot like it is now. And I'm going to put on about 60, 70 pounds of gear, turnout gear, air tank, and everything that holds all your body heat in and be able to make it through that without dying, without having a heart attack, without going into some type of cardiac arrest or heat stroke or something. We may all have to face that kind of stuff because things collapse around us, because things get rough, because things get bad. And if we are not in the best shape that we can be, there's no amount of tools and guns and food and all that kind of stuff that's going to save us. And so I see so many people that are very smart. They're very awake to what's going on. They're very much of that preparedness mindset. They understand where the world's going, and so they're doing all the right things to get ready, except when it comes to their personal health. They're stuck on all kinds of pharmaceuticals, so they're dependent upon the system, the medical system. They're physically, they can only do so much before they exhaust themselves. They can't bend over, they can't ruck, they can't do all these things because they wear themselves out. And this is an area of weakness that we have to face. None of us, I can tell you from someone that's was once in great shape and now I'm not, I can tell you for a fact that I don't want to face the fact that I'm physically not where I once was years ago, and that I have to work much, much harder now than ever before to get myself to those areas. I don't want to. You wake up, you're sore, you're hurting all over, you work out, you do things, and the next day you're hurting even more. You're tired. You've got so much to do in your life. I get it. I'm there with you. And I have to really push myself to the point of like pulling teeth to get myself sometimes to do these things because I've got so much to do. I just can't figure out how I'm going to carve out 45 minutes or an hour of my time to spend time on getting my body in better shape. Or I'm busy and I'm running around and I don't have time to eat a proper meal. I'm hungry and I just, oh, well, this is available, right? It's hard. I get it. But if we're not putting strong emphasis right now, when it all happens, it's too late then. I mean, yeah, you're going to probably lose weight then because of the lifestyle we will have to be, but it may be too late to get yourself in shape. And so right now, this is the time. Consider this, that you're a soldier getting ready for war, right? If you absolutely knew that war would be upon you at a certain date and time, would you not do everything that you can to get yourself ready for that? Physically ready, your skills ready, your mind ready, your soul ready, everything. Would you not do that? Of course you would. And we may not have a specific date and time, but we definitely can see what's coming. And yes, we need to be doing all these other preparedness things. But right now, we also need to be getting ourselves in shape. I'm telling you, it's not easy. I'm a perfect example of that. I'm certainly not going to get on here and tell you how great shape I am. I'm certainly in better shape than I've been in a while, but I've got a long way to go still. I will be sharing some of the specifics over on Locals. I can't do it here on YouTube. You talk about any kind of natural herbs, anything, they slap you all over the place. And so I won't be doing that here, but I will be sharing more on Locals from time to time. But I'm telling you, we got to get going. And men, I firmly believe that a big part of this is specifically directed against men. We've got to weaken men, fill them with soy and estrogen and all this stuff that weakens a man so that no longer we have a nation filled with not just mentally and spiritually masculine and tough men, but also physically masculine and tough men. And no matter how much you say, oh, well, I may be overweight, but I'm tough and I can do all this, we're nowhere near the shape that men once were 100 years ago, 150 years ago, that they could do things, that they could run circles around us. We've got to get the weight off. We've got to get lean down. We've got to get in shape. We've got to train our heart and our lungs and everything else to be able to have the endurance to make it through what we're going to face. So I want to encourage you to be doing that. It's tough. I know. Trust me. You don't have to tell me. I get it. It's very tough. But it's something we have to do. And we need to be starting today on doing that. It's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.